Hey, Janie here with Navigate Wellness. One of the most frequent questions I get asked as a care navigator is, how do I know when it's time for my loved one to go into senior living? So I wanted to talk about that today. When we do an assessment with someone, we go over 8 different areas to make sure that we're kind of capturing what's going on and to be able to make a proactive plan. We look at health, environment, social support, legal, financial, advocacy. We look at local resources and we make plans for crisis intervention. So when we're looking at the environment, kind of all of those things come into play. That's why we look at all of them. So the answer isn't simple, but I want to give you a couple tips today on what to look for to think maybe it is time for mom or dad, loved one to go into senior living. So first I wanted to point out just this sense of overall tension that comes up. A lot of people resist that and think, oh, this is normal. They normalize it, it is pretty common to have tension, but I want you to listen to that. That would be my first tip. When there's tension, that's a really good sign that there's a mismatch between the environment that this person is in and their social support, their health support, the plan just in general. Something is going on that is a mismatch. So instead of ignoring that, I would recommend that you lean into that and find out where this tension's coming from. A lot of times when professionals are assessing someone to see what is the proper level of the proper environment, we look at ADLs, which stands for Activities of Daily Living. But also we want to take a step back and look at IADLs, Instrumental Activities of Daily Living. Those are things like using the phone and using technology, shopping, food prep and cooking, housekeeping, laundry, transportation, medication management, and financial management. So these are things that if someone can't do, their life isn't going to end. They're not in huge trouble right now. But this is a cue that things are starting to deteriorate. This is also where we can add in supports that can be timed, they can be planned. You can have someone there for a couple hours to do these things to help someone stay at home. So IADLs and ADLs are really important, but also something to look at is someone's social support. Can we get formal care? That's when you contract someone, you pay them, you have them help you with certain things. Or do we have informal supports? Is there a friend? Is a spouse? You might be an informal support. Someone that's not getting paid but can fill in these gaps. When we're looking at if someone's goal is to stay at home, we want to look at our social support. We want to look at our financial picture. Those are 2 things that are going to help us make our decisions. If we don't have anyone who can come in the home and we don't have any way to pay for it, that kind of makes our decisions for us. We have to find a place with these services that can remain in the budget. And finally, we want to protect people's independence. We want to protect people's dignity. So that becomes really important too when we're planning. Sometimes we do have to make compromises. We're not going to be able to sometimes meet every single little thing on the list, but we need to make sure that the big things are covered and that people are safe. So that's something that we need to have open discussions about. Sometimes people really believe that the epitome of independence is staying at home. But if we really dive into that conversation and things they want to do and the things that they don't want to do, the tension that's going on, the financial picture, the social support, sometimes moving into a senior living is the best option to protect that person's independence. So it's important to have that conversation up front and kind of let these decisions and these check boxes make your decision for you. Sometimes on paper, it just makes a whole lot more sense than having that conversation saying, I think you need to go in a nursing home. Not the place to start. So as a reminder, when you're making this decision, you want to look at someone's social support. You want to look at activities of daily living, instrumental activities of daily living. You want to talk to them about what does independence look like to them. These are the important things to be talking about. And these are things that we talk about when we do our planning sessions with folks proactively. Doing this proactively and talking about this before it's heavy and live on the plate right now can really help diminish some of that tension when it comes to time to have these conversations. I would love to hear from people who are caregivers right now. Maybe you have a loved one that's in a senior living facility. Maybe you're thinking about that. Please share with us your thoughts. And if you're a professional in senior living or maybe in hospitals or clinics, I'd love for you to share what you see and what you think is a big sign, a big red flag that someone probably shouldn't be living at home anymore. I hope you guys are having a good day. Thanks for watching the video.